Hey there guys, it's me again, Guddeful, and yeah, I know you didn't hear a while from me. I thought I'd be back in November last year, and that didn't happen, obviously. And this video is here to tell you a little bit why that is and how I'm going to continue my stuff here on YouTube, because I will. I have plans to get back into the YouTube game right now. And as you can see, we are not in Adventure Plains, we are in a different park, and I will explain to you why and what's happening and what I plan to do in the future. And while I do that, I want to show off a little bit what I've done in the last few months. Yeah, so this is my new park. Please ignore this ugly ass sign here. That's just a placeholder I did once when I was bored. But anyways, my plan with this park here, which by the way will probably replace Adventure Plains. I'll explain to you why in a second. My idea with this park is that this is kind of a high budget but not infinite budget park that focuses a lot on different theming in its areas. So we have a western area, we have like a jungle Mayan area, we have a steampunk area, later on we will have a medieval area, an Asian area, and probably somewhat of a futuristic area. And I'm thinking of a, I don't know if that is the right English term, but I name it a marina area, like a coastal themed area with my Moby Dick RMC coaster layout reviewed, made a little bit better and put in the park layout. And yeah, that's my plan with this park. Right now we are at the main street in the beginning of the park, obviously. It's nearly done with the facade, the interiors will have to come. This roof I was dodging and still am for like weeks, because it was very annoying to make this one, and this one is like this one but mirrored. We need a mirror tool! Yeah, so I won't do that for a while, I guess. The entrance is very, very simple, the entrance building itself, so nothing special going on here. I did this on purpose because I wanted it to be like you are walking to the park. You can see, okay, that's the entrance, we have this towers here, it gives you this kind of feel like, okay, something special begins after that. And then you walk in, all the scrolling, then you walk in and all of a sudden you are in this area here that is nicely detailed, nicely themed. One thing about this balcony, I think it might be a little high, maybe I have to get it one story down, but I'll see what you say to this. Maybe you think it's fine, I'm not quite sure. And yeah, you might notice that we have most of our interiors to come here on the left side. That is because most theme parks, especially Disney parks, have all their shops on the main street on the right side of the path, because people tend to walk more on the right side, so they tend to go more into shops on the right side when they leave the park. So that's just a small trick to sell more merchandise and stuff. I kind of imagine that here in those two buildings are some shops too, maybe. I'm not quite sure yet if I want that to be the case. If so, I will add signs, but that is a possibility that is there. This building and this building are purely for staff and backstage entry. Then here we have our first Easter egg buildings. This one is called John's Brewery for our bro Masked Bandit, who will get his own brewery in this park with a full interior. I haven't done anything yet, as you can see. I will do so in the future. And on the opposite side of the main street we have Captain Mike's. That one has a full done interior. Maybe I should switch the cam so it's easier. Okay, not full done. Probably the ceiling needs a little bit work, but it's very far in the process. And the idea behind this restaurant was to name it Captain Mike's, because Mike is that kind of person that always tells all the other people what to do but doesn't anything himself, except for first episodes for like 300 million series. Nag Ali. Yeah, and that's mostly the first part of the main street, and here in the middle it splits up into 3 directions. One of them is more like of a dead end. We have outside seating for the brewery. Here will be a cinema. I'm still thinking of making it functional, but or make it like with a nice interior and the cinema itself with all the seats and the screen and so on, but we'll have to see. And this dead end here leads into the backstage area for like parade wagons and stuff like that can come out of this gate here. That's also why I made this marking here visible, because it's like, okay, here's only for the parade carts. And backstage, nothing is done. I can only do that when I'm finished with the interior and know how big everything back here will be. Yeah, then if we continue further in this direction here, we are going to the steampunk area, which is like only facades at the moment. I really like this area. I like how simple it sells the theme of steampunk. It's not like gears and steam and smoke everywhere, and it's just some pipes and some weird building shapes, and that's it. The biggest problem I have with this area at the moment is the comparison of this building, which I actually really like, but it's very small, compared to the station of the coaster, which I call Time Machine, and yes, I know I spelled that wrong, because this one has to be as big as it is, so it's not a scaling issue, and I don't think it's too big anyways. It's just the comparison to this small building on this side here is a bit weird, but maybe that is something that will blend in when we... Oh, my camera work is awful. When we get more buildings in here. I imagine that this will be a whole plaza. The facades have to continue until like here, because this will be all in the dark in the beginning of the ride of the coaster. Here we have our Gaslau Infinity coaster. That's the one for the steampunk area. I'm thinking of kind of rebuilding that to make it a little bit more compact and go a bit more all over the place and not like always back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I've got some tips from some bros on the Bro Nation Discord, especially from 404 Gaming. So thanks for that. I don't know if I really want to rebuild this one, because I like the layout, how it rides. Maybe not so much how it looks from the top, but how it rides. And it took me very long to build this one, so maybe I decide to leave it as it is and take the critique and the tips for the Gaslau Infinities for my next Infinity coaster I'm going to build. Yeah, and back to the main street again. If we go to the right on this crossing here, by the way, the well, is that the right word? I don't think so. The fountain, ha! The fountain will be made a little bit more fancier. It's just a placeholder at the moment. But anyways, I'm losing the direction here. If we go down this side, we are going towards firstly the train station von Winston with 2 eyes. Nice. I imagine this town is called Winston, I don't know. And if we go under this bridge, which I really like, by the way, I know it has very low clearance, but I think that is what a theme park would do. Not everything has to be 100% realistic in regards of these train thingies. I like what the bros have done in No Name Landia, but I really don't have the space here in the start to do that, and I don't want to exaggerate the scale of the station building too much, and it is already very high from down here. So I like that bridge. Here we have a little backstage entry again, and because behind of the bank, and if we look here, we're basically looking at the backstage area. And then we are in the western area. back there you can already see the wooden coaster. That one is one of the 2 oldest coasters in the park, and the oldest coaster is obviously the mine train here. Up here we have the station, very unfinished, very unfinished. That is probably something I have to mention. This park is extremely work in progress. Like, you see this flat ride doesn't even have fences around its entrance area, so yeah. But this mine train is mainly finished. It's mostly only the station and a little bit of the backstage area here for the transfer track that has to be done. I've got quite some comments on Bronation for this mountain here being a bit too plain. But my idea with this was that it is an artificial mountain, like out of not plastic, but some kind of material. It's not naturally there, and they dug the coaster in. They built it around the coaster and the train here. So there is nothing that can grow here in this area. And you can see that, like, I try to make the backside of it as boring as possible and as unnatural as possible, so it can be held and made invisible by these retaining walls here around the outside of the parking lot, which I also have to do in the future, as you might see. Yeah, but I like this coaster. It's very short, but it fits in here very nicely. You get some really nice views from peep view here in the beginning, like this one, or if we go further down here, this one. It has a very nice path interaction, and I like that. It feels very theme parky. And that's mostly for this area. The flat ride and the coaster are everything that is here in the beginning. And if we go down a little bit further down the road, we are in our second Easter egg, and in the western town we have a saloon which has the most ugly interior ever. It's not nearly done. It looks like this at the moment. I have to do a lot of stuff in here, but that is actually something I really miss for interiors. That we don't have like small vases and flowers and stuff for the picnic tables. That would be so awesome, because I think a little bit of indoor foliage would really add to interiors like this without me having to do much. Now I think I need a lot more wall decorations and such, and probably some windows from the inside. I realize that could help. Yeah, but that is something I wish they would bring into the game someday. And yeah, now you just hear me mentioning another Easter egg for this town. And yeah, the town is called Santa Comenta. That's for our next bro, Commander Santa. I struggled a bit to put his name somewhere in the park, and I figured out that if I pushed around the letters of his name, I could make it into a western town, so I did. So we are now in Santa Comenta, and I know that the street here is very empty. I want to add some things here. I don't think I want to add anything here, how I think Mike suggested in one of my screenshots, because I think that area will be fairly full with traffic, English, because of the station and the saloon and it being the entrance, the first entrance in the area. But on this big plaza here, I want to do something. Firstly, because I can put it here without people walking in and me not needing to put down barriers. And secondly, because this is like way too much space without anything happening. I don't quite know what I want to do. Maybe I put some stands down there, like something where you can buy balloons, or a hot dog stand, or I don't know, something like that, popcorn. In that direction, I think I will go. And this area is packed with Easter eggs and interiors that are to come. I didn't build all of them because I spent a lot of time on another interior recently. I will show you later what interior that is. Here we have the Ruble Trillions pawn shop, a souvenir shop, a very small one where you can get like postcards and stuff like that. If that is the real English word, I don't know. not very big. It looks bigger from the outside than it is from the inside, because sadly we can make those thingies here into interior, so we can't really integrate them if we don't build custom walls. If we do, then it's possible, but I didn't, obviously. But I think this will be nice and cozy here. A bit ugly how I had to hide the curbs of the path here with those barrels. Yeah, but what has to be done has to be done. But in general, I like how all of this is walkable. I don't think this here is. I think this, yeah, here you can see the curves. This is walkable. Here you can go up, and this stairs aren't. Yeah, but I like that. The shop trick where you can raise the path with the shops is came in very handy for this. Yeah. And let's go on to the next Easter egg. Here we have the sheriff of this town, Sheriff Peter Ridley. SP Ridley, of course, is the sheriff of this town. Again, one of our bros, the art shape god. Sometimes it's really sad to see what he can do with art shapes, and I'm sitting here like making things like the little circle on the main street here, and being proud of that because it looks cool on the path. And right next to that we have another souvenir shop, a trading post, where you can get minerals and other junk, which is a nod to Mineral Junction, one of our British bros. Again, awesome builder, made, I think, World of Steve? If not, please don't kill me. But I think he did, and he's also on Bro Coaster and made Southside his baby, essentially. And then if we walk down further out of the city, we are again in the wilderness of the Wild West Rocky Mountain-ish area, and going to the wooden coaster, which I don't have a name for. The working title is High Noon, because of a stupid idea I had with the speakers, but it doesn't work because the speakers are bugged with custom sound, so I'm not doing that probably. And yeah, let's walk down the queue a little bit here. So we have this first part here, very hybridish queue with a lot of wood and this rustical look and modern look with all those steel beams and metal fences and stuff. And it ends in this with this little cave here that says danger. We go down here, have a small little scene to look at with like a treasure chest, the skull, and a few barrels. So there is something to look at while you have to wait down here, which rarely has happened yet, but still. And when you leave this, you will get into this more unorganized wild area with like very improvised fences and overgrown cattle pens and stuff. And the idea is that the further you go into the queue line of this coaster, the more you get into the wilderness of this world, and then in the end you get onto the coaster, and yeah, that's probably the wildest thing back here. This is the layout. I really like it. I like how it rides. I like how it looks. Only thing I have to do is the transfer track. Then this coaster is done. Maybe a bit of ground foliage I have to put in here where the drop is, which by the way I built with the help of Kindly and Free the Bear, so thanks for that. I think we talked like half an hour or longer just about this drop until I got the shaping right and the speed and everything. And the rest of the layout is I think very GCI like. It is supposed to be a GCI if you didn't notice that yet, and I like it. I like how, yeah, not snappy, but I like how the bankings work. It's not as snappy as GCI would be, but I don't think that a lot of people have accomplished it yet. And I like the feel of it. It feels definitely like a Planet Coaster GCI would feel, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah, so let's move on, and now I can show you why I didn't build interiors in the main street and the western area that much. By the way, here a little bit more ground foliage along the paths. Nothing very interesting, but now you can probably see where we're going. Sunset Burgers is my small personal burger diner that I built with exterior serving and seating area, which is used. And now we go back around here and ta-da! I'm insanely proud of this one, except for those thingies here. I used the cables for the lack of a better piece for the lamps, but I already got the tip to use the candy canes, so I will try that out next time when I play. And yeah, this is my burger diner, and I really like it. I love the seatings. I'm very, very proud of them. I said it like 10 times now, and they are indeed functional. We have picnic tables in here, so the people can sit down and eat at those, but they don't, because nobody is going in here. And I think I've seen people buy here something once and then just leave. So I hope that someday I'll catch someone sitting here and actually eat something, but my imagination of this thing being full and people eating here is not going to happen. And another thing I'm very proud of is this line here. That's a little bit weird. I think that's a very Bronation thing to like. This is the hiding space for the heating unit. I don't know if that's the correct term for that, but that's basically where the heating unit is hidden under. That a lot of restaurants have near the windows or the walls. We have it back here, a little bit lifted up. So again, we have here a heating unit behind that, so the warm air can come out of here if it is needed, and nobody can tinker too much with the heating unit itself. Yes, that is the diner, not finished at all, as you might see here. Here's a small seating area again. I don't know if I want to keep that, if that makes that much sense, because I don't think I can fit in here any seating. Maybe I can fit in some high tables or something where people can stand and eat. Oh, that might be an idea. Otherwise that would be very disconnected from everything else. But I like this cozy feeling of sitting here and just looking outside. You can see the drop of the hypercoaster back there. But yeah, that's the diner. Let's go out here. And here is a playground that is in the making. I think that was last session where I built this one. I like it very much. And I'm not a big fan of the slide itself. I don't know if I will tinker with that more. We'll see about that. But the whole building thing I like, especially because you actually can walk into it. Not the peeps, but we can with the cam controls. By the way, here is the connection to the steampunk area, so everything comes around again. And to show you what I mean, we'll just go in there quickly. So we have actually stairs in here. It's not that easy. I'm very bad with the cam controls here. And now we're on the top, and then we could slide down. Woo! Yeah, that's the playground, and now we are getting to my second favorite area, and that is the final drop of the log flume, which, by the way, is again an Easter egg. It's called the Curse of John T. Zuma, an Easter egg for who would guessed it? Who would guess it? Guess it? English is an annoying language. Why can't German be the world language? That would be so much nicer for me. Which obviously is an Easter egg for John T from Geekism. And yeah, this is one of my favorite areas. Again, I just like how this small lake here with a final drop feels with a temple. And I've got quite some great screenshots out of this area. It's just gorgeous. Here you can really see what this game is capable of doing. And splash. Here we have the log flume splash down on the bridge, which is intentional. I think it goes a little bit too far onto the pathway because you have like hug this side to not get wet when log flume comes down there. But I don't think I will change it because that would be such a pain in the ass, especially considering how far in I am with this area. I don't know if I could change that in any way. Yeah, so we'll get a little bit wet here, and now we go up the stairs above the log flume that goes back into the station back there. Here we have prepared backstage area for the log flume, which you will be able to see if you go here. It's not hidden away, so this is probably the most janky part of the park I've built yet, but I think it would fit. And as I said in the beginning, I want this to be a high budget park, but not like Disney level high budget where everything is perfectly hidden away and everything is perfectly planned out. I think this is a really nice way to add a little jank to the area. Like, it's hidden away from the front, so you wouldn't see it when you walk through the park or eat here on the jungle food court there, but if you're on the log flume you can definitely see it. And speaking of which, we will go down here to the adventure area. Here we have the station, and by the way, I've heard some people on Bronation tell me the roof looks bad. Some people told me it looks great. I personally love it. If you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. I like the roof. It's supposed to be one of those leaf thatch roof thingies, and I think it does its job really, really well. Better than some in-game pieces that are way too thick to use them as a roof and that have a ugly ass color and cannot be recolored. So I like this option a lot more. If you have any critique regarding the roof other than it looks ugly, feel free to tell me. So I have no problem with that. And I don't have a problem if you think it's ugly. I just think it's not. So we wouldn't agree on that one. And yeah, we are now on the Adventure Jungle Plaza here. Again, you can eat your food and drinks you will get back there at the Juicy Jungle shop. Nothing very special. A lot of adventure foliage going on here, like adventure pack foliage. A lot of palm trees and jungle trees and bushes and ferns and stuff. Here we have our small climbing area. It's all in boulder height, so you probably wouldn't really need ropes for safety. I don't know if I feel like this area where you can land safely is a bit too small, so maybe you would need ropes. I don't know. I don't have to imagine because they won't use it anyways. But I try to make all those routes doable. So I boulder myself in my free time, so I know a bit of this stuff. And I try to make it look like you could actually use those. And in different difficulty ratings and stuff. I like that one. It looks cool at night. I won't turn at night now because then I have to turn on the UI and I don't want that. But yeah, we are pretty much done with everything in the park. That one is extremely unfinished. We don't have supports like on the Gastlauer, but the Gastlauer at least has a themed area somewhat around itself. So yeah, just here backstage areas for those two, like for the plants on top of the climbing stage. We have those stairs to get up there so you can water them and stuff. But yeah, that's basically my park. And now for the information what is going to happen on my channel. I hope you stay that long. Probably not, but anyways. I will return now with a regular series. This one I think I will do every 2 weeks at least, maybe more often, where I give you updates what I've built. I don't want to do time lapses anymore. I want to do showcases, a little bit more structured than this one. Here I had way too much to show you, so we have to live with that. And then I will give you an update every 2 weeks what I've done, if I have done anything. If I don't, then maybe I will have to come up with another series I can put in there. I'm thinking of doing another time-lapse series of a park idea I had without commentary. Maybe I will do that. We'll see about that. And yeah, so every 2 weeks it will be this park. It has no name yet. As I said, the sign doesn't count. And that's what's going to happen. For the people that wonder why I didn't return in November, it was just a big clusterfuck of me moving and not finding a flat and me living at an internetless place. So yeah. And then I found one in January, and now I'm getting back into the game. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. I hope you like this park, and I hope you are not too disappointed that Adventure Plains isn't continuing. I just have too much scaling issues with Adventure Plains. The pathing is bad, the buildings are all too big. It's not the detail work that I don't like, it's just the scaling that really screws me, and I've gotten so much better with scaling since then that it would bug me all the time if I keep building it. Maybe I will return to it and make the idea of Adventure Plains again sometime in better scaling with a new map. But right now I enjoy this park a lot more, and I will continue it, and that's what you're going to see for the next few months probably. I don't know how long we will need to finish this. I hope we will finish this. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, if you watched until here, and yeah, I see you in the next one. Bye bye!